All right, it's that time of the week, and we are going with our weekly wrap up of the top 5 things, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with them. Let me know what yours were down below as well. We're going to start off with dead account. We are still doing Class 1A versus Class 1B, and I really want to see what the Class 2 strengths are, because if this is what the first year is like, second year's got to be insane. But we got Giant Ice Dude, who has sided with Sad Boy K. We got a little bit of his backstory. Specifically, he's terrified of losing his beauty as he ages, and Sad Boy K kind of just builds on that fear and ends up converting him to his side right at the start of the competition after he made his giant ice sculpture. But we get to see the Ice Sculptist versus Fire Fist. And that was sick as hell until the point where they realized Fire Fist is hosed. Until we get our Shield Bearer, who is just above my head right here. Who, I love this guy. I think his power is sick. He can create barriers as long as he's focusing on his music. Well, that's the issue. He has troubles focusing on his stuff normally. But we get a flash to his backstory, and their teacher is the one that brought him in and gave him headphones and didn't give him his first headphones, he gave him his current headphones. His original headphones were given to him by the guy that lives next door, who gave him like an old iPod with one band loaded into it, because his parents were constantly very loudly yelling at each other. And they found him with his headphones in, with his parents shoved into the wall. And that was sick as hell. Because it's just like, hey, this guy has absolutely no control over his power. Those guys have been stuck up there for hours until you showed up to free them. And I love that as like your power is uncontrolled in this situation, because nobody really got hurt in it. And then the moment he got, the teacher got the power to go down, his parents tried to arc up at him, and the teacher's like, you are done here. You are finished being anything associated with this child. Go die in a hole. And then he raised him up, and this guy just tooted around everything out. He pumped his volume up to 11 and just started headbanging along to the music. And it's such a sick idea. But we are building up to the climax because we still haven't beat this frozen fucker. What we're doing instead is we're going to build up to it, and then we're going to bring in the entire rest of the class who got hypnotized into 10-minute sleep, because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to get the sleep. Oh, loved it. In our fourth slot today, we have Hell's Paradise, where we went back to Gabimaru, which is something I completely forgot that we left by himself. So we had Gabimaru and the Shinjiriki girl fighting against, I believe he's a water-inclined godling, essentially. I forget what they're called. Give me a rest. But that means that Gabimaru is actually not very good against these things, because he's obviously fire. But Gabimaru is playing the long game. Gabimaru has stabbed himself with a plant, and in doing so, he now has a plant inside of him and is slowly being taken over by the plant, turned into a flower. It's not nearly as much of a risk currently, though, because the plant is designed first and foremost to repair you. It's going to make you the healthiest it can, and if you are on the brink of death like Gabimaru was, it doesn't really have very much energy left to try and convert you. As the fight goes on, we see the vine in his back slowly spreading, which, don't get me wrong, terrifying idea. I hate the idea of vines growing inside of me, especially being able to feel them. But also, I feel like the guys that are fire inclined are probably the best set up to deal with this, because it should just burn away a little bit every time they use their powers. But these guys are excellent. This entire show is excellent because each one of these godlings is being beaten in a different way. We had the 4-way combo fight, taking out the twin lovers. We had our last fight was, we can't beat this guy with elemental affinity, so I'm just going to hit him until his regeneration gives out. That's a great idea. And this one was, I'm going to stall for time, because that takes a lot of energy to hold up. So if I can fight him for an hour straight, he is just going to lose his ability, and then he's basically as weak as the rest of us. And that's exactly what he did. He used sparks from his shinobi ninjutsu to make him not be able to notice how much time is passing, because apparently that's something that happens with your brain. It says flashing lights around you, you don't notice time, which is what casinos use. Pretty sure it's what the video games are doing to us too. Pretty sure it's what TikTok is doing to us. But it was such a cool idea, and it's just, I don't know how Gabimaru survives this plant, but he has stated, hey, I'm getting home to my wife. I will give everything to do that. That's not a limited everything, that's everything, including my humanity, which he gave up this episode, which was so sick. Also, unfortunately, we lost the other ninja of the group, who is the one that is directly behind my face right now. And it was a great moment of, hey, I'll bring you with me. And she's like, no, just give me a minute. I'll be right behind you. She knew she wasn't going to be right behind. In our number 3 slot, we have Fire Force. And we're in a dollar. That has never been more important than it is right now, because we are having Shinra and Sho versus Haumea, who is right above Shinra's head. And she apparently has merged with all the other pillars. I don't know if that's all of the other pillars apart. Like, she's gotten the powers from all the pillars. Rephrasing. She got the powers of all the other pillars. I don't know if that's all of the other pillars apart from Shinra and Sho, or if she's somehow gotten theirs because of Adola. But the Earth is basically Gornskis. There's nothing left there. We just have Shinra and Sho versus Haumea, who, mind you, also absorbed in God, what are our names? She absorbed in Inca and the nun Sumire, but we also saw on the pillars that she raised out of the floor Amaterasu and the sister Iris. And it's such a great fight, because it's just, hey, we're going to throw everything we got at this, but nothing we're doing actually can work, because she has 6 powers at least working against us. And this show is so sick. This fight, I don't know how they're going to get through it, but I cannot wait for next week to find out. Or this week now. But also, only Earth is gone. And I love the fact that that's a specification I need to make. Because at the end of the episode, we see Arthur's body floating in space, grab his sword. And it's just, how is this guy still alive? Like, you are half a man. You are more of a man than most men I know, but you are half a man. How are you alive, buddy? But also fire, because cauterization is a thing, so he's not going to die of blood loss, and realistically nothing from your hips down is really necessary for survival, especially in the short term. In our number 2 slot, this is surprising for most people, we have Sentenced to be a Hero. Because I think we have the full cast now. I could be wrong, but I think we have the full hero brigade. And I love every last one of them, except for maybe him. The sniper, I can go without him. But every other character in this brigade is amazing. We have our knife thrower, technically. We have a goddess of swords. We have a coward, which, honestly, I love the fact that everyone in the world is just like, we know you're a coward. We know we can't really trust you. But right now, we don't have another option. So we need you to stay in your post, because these guys might kill you. But they're only going to kill you once. And if you leave your post, I can do it multiple times. We can keep bringing you back. But we also have the Dragon Banger, which 100% is what that guy's doing. We have His Majesty, who may be the greatest character in anime this year, which is saying something. He has more delusions than Arthur, which again is saying something. And honestly, he's a better character. He's the MVP of this entire show. closely followed by, I don't know the zombie guy's name, but he is definitely the second best character in this damn show. Because, hey, we've only seen him use axes until this episode. But it turns out he's great at all weaponry. Because they gave him a lightning spear and just let him start shooting things. And he went to town on those guys. But also, and this is the much more important part, this episode, we got to see them doing proper teamwork. We also have the artillerist, but he doesn't really matter too much. He's that everything is a willing sacrifice. Or I'm willing to sacrifice everything to get my results. Which is a nifty idea. Kind of sucks as a character. But we got to see them working together this episode because they had to fight the 3 humans that were associated with the Spriggan's forces, who is that current demon lord who can take human form, and that consisted of their artillerist, an assassin that could turn things that looked like threads into claws and spears and other metallic weaponry, and the guy that gives off more butler energy than Jeffrey. And it was excellent because it's just everything they were doing was to get to the end point. We're going to fight this woman in the front, then we're going to knock her into the sky. The artillerist is focusing on us, trying to stop us. While he's focusing on us, he's not focusing on the guy on the dragon that burns her to a crisp. He then refocuses on her, so the guy that can shoot basically missiles can blow him up. And it was so well done, and I loved every second of it. But also, it did highlight what all the other characters were doing at the same time. We got to see the sword princess, so the sword goddess, what am I calling her, a princess, use her powers in not just say, hey, have these way. It was a, hey, there's missiles firing at us. I'm going to create swords to pierce them. And it's so good because it's just, until now, she's been just a, hey, she's going to be your hanger-on. She can help you. No, she can do all of these things by herself. Absolute girl boss. In our number 1 slot, though, we have JJK. Because this week got crazy. We got to see Megami fighting the receipt guy, who I don't care what his name is. He's the receipt guy, and he's still my favorite character in JJK. And it was just, I'm going to see how much weight your spirit can take before you collapse. And that went for both of them, because we went into Megami's domain, and Receipt Guy just kept on dropping heavy things either onto him or into the spirit. And Megami just summoned an elephant on top of Receipt Guy. And it was, everything's just pushing down until the point where a house got dropped on Megami, released his realm, and we fell into the water of the pool. Which, didn't think anything of it, except receipts can't do shit if they're wet, can they? It was the turnaround for it that I was not expecting, and I love this fight. I love Receipt Guy. Receipt Guy is generally the best character in the show. We also got to see the self-mutilator and the comedian fighting a little bit more. Apparently that he's tried everything he can to kill the comedian, but nothing sticks. And I love that as a bit, because it's just, he covered himself in barbecue sauce the last time because it was fun. The comedian cannot be killed unless it's in a funny way, or it ends up being the punchline to one of his own jokes. And I love that as a concept. But after hearing that his mate died, the mutilator just, no, I'm done. I'm good. Bye-bye. But yeah, it's been such a good week. Maybe I should have put JJK in sentence the other way around. But if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment something down below. Give us your favorite emoji. Give us your favorite anime. I don't care. We'll see you all next